Boys. Could Leon Kennedy survive Resident Evil 8? I thought he would have been did this by now, low key, but I guess he hasn't. So we're gonna jump right into it. Hope you guys have been enjoying the nerd science videos. Could he survive Resident Evil 8? Yes, he could, he can, and he will, because he'll be saved by Chris. That's the only way, because he's not beating the entity at the end, whatever her name is, Lady Miranda. He's not beating her. He's gonna have problems with Heisenberg. But again, this is gonna be kind of like the Kennedy and John Wick. They're not that they're on the same level, but they're kind of up in the same tier a little bit. I don't know who would be higher than who. Again, you guys can let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, if Leon is better than John Wick or if John Wick's better than Leon. I don't know. I don't know. But this should be, I guess this should be interesting. Well, let's see. I mean, he'll fold for Lady Dimitrescu, of course. Like, of course he will. Like, he'll fold to her. But you know, other than that, like, yeah, everybody else is gonna be piece of cake.
Van crashes. You crawl out into the snow, but this time you are Leon S. Kennedy, a government agent with the highest survival stats in the franchise.
Highest survival stats.
Ethan survived this village because he was made of mold, a regenerative biological fungus that allowed him to reattach severed limbs and shrug off fatal wounds. Leon is just human. He has his custom Silver Ghost handgun, a combat knife, and
wait. What
Today, we're asking a simple question.
I want to see that again.
Brilliance outscale biological immortality.
I want to see that again.
Ethan survived this village because he was
What was that? Oh, that was Lady Dimitrescu.
Survived this village because he was made of mold, a regenerative
Did she, like,
biological fungus that
chop his
allowed
arm
him to
off? I forget
reattach
what
severed
happened there.
limbs and shrug off fatal wounds. Leon is just human. He has his custom Silver Ghost handgun, a combat knife, and zero backup. Today, we're asking a simple question. Does tactical brilliance outscale biological immortality? Can a normal human physiology withstand the megamycete? The first major hurdle is the Lycan siege. In Resident Evil 4, the Ganados were slow, shuffling at maybe 3 to 4 miles per hour. The Lycans in Village are apex predators. We can estimate their sprint speed at roughly 20 miles per hour based on how quickly they close a 30-meter gap. For a normal human, this is a death sentence. But Leon brings the parry mechanic into the equation. In physics terms, a parry isn't about stopping force. It's about redirecting kinetic energy. A Lycan bite delivers hundreds of pounds of pressure per square inch. If Leon tries to block statically, his radius and ulna snap. Instead, he uses the knife to deflect the vector of attack.
He's going to be able to parry, so
sliding the bite past his vital arteries. This is where Leon's close quarters combat training puts him miles ahead of Ethan. However, the physics change drastically when Urias arrives. This is the giant Lycan wielding.
Yeah. Why didn't we get, what's his name? Why didn't we get him with the John Wick stuff too?
This is where Leon's close quarters combat training puts him miles ahead of Ethan. However, the physics change drastically when Urias arrives. This is the giant Lycan wielding a hammer that looks to weigh at least 400 pounds. In the game, Ethan blocks his hammer with his bare hands. If a human Leon Kennedy tried...
He is not parrying that. Don't tell me he's going to parry that big ass hammer. There's no way.
The force, mass times acceleration, would liquefy his internal organs regardless of his arm strength. Leon cannot take these hits. He has to rely entirely on evasion.
He said liquefy his organs because of the strength? What? What did he say?
At least 400 pounds. In the game, Ethan blocks his hammer with his
one more time.
His vital arteries. This is where Leon's close quarters combat training puts him miles ahead of Ethan. However, the physics change drastically when Urias arrives. This is the giant Lycan wielding a hammer that looks to weigh at least 400 pounds. In the game, Ethan blocks his hammer with his bare hands. If a human Leon Kennedy tried that, the force, mass times acceleration, would liquefy his internal organs regardless of his arm strength. Leon cannot take these hits.
I thought he said the hammer
entirely on evasion.
was 400 pounds.
He shifts from engagement to pure mobility, utilizing the environment to break down the line of sight until the bell tolls. Once inside Castle Dimitrescu, the threat changes from kinetic energy to biological swarm tactics. The three daughters, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela, are composed of blowflies vulnerable to cold. Leon, with his background in biological warfare assessment with Operation Javier, would likely identify the environmental anomaly much faster. He understands thermodynamics. When a window breaks and the enemy solidify, a tactical mind connects the drop in ambient temperature to the enemy's physiology immediately. Insect metabolism is poikilothermic. Their internal temperature relies on the environment. Then there is Lady Dimitrescu. She stands at 9 feet 6 inches. Her reach is terrifying, but her mass is her downfall. The square cube law suggests that a creature of her size would have significant inertia issues. She cannot change direction quickly. Leon's combat style relies on high-speed agility, sprinting, sliding, and dodge rolling. While Ethan had to run away, Leon could effectively kite her. He doesn't need to absorb damage if
he definitely could.
Gets hit by explosive.
And he could probably parry her too. Like, probably. She's probably not hitting as hard as the Lycan with that freaking World of Warcraft ass hammer.
Exploiting her slow rotational speed, he can stay in her blind spot, chipping away at her with the Silver Ghost. When we crunch the numbers for this section, Leon is actually safer than Ethan. Ethan took damage because he was slow and untrained. Leon avoids the damage entirely. For the castle and the village siege, Leon earns a Tier S survival rating. His evasion negates the need for a healing factor.
The freaking glaze is so freaking real, dude. Like, it's so, like, the Kennedy effect, like, no. He does not get an S. There's no way Leon gets an S against the Lycans and the freaking, I mean, maybe he does. Like, he's that. He is that. But, like, come on, dude. The Lycan King and the freaking, I mean, the Lycan King is the only thing that I can't see Leon doing anything to that thing. Or just, I can't see Leon being able to control that situation. Like, I can't see it. I can't see it. But then again, he's fought bigger. He's definitely fought bigger. He's fought the El Gigante. He's fought, you know, like plenty of big enemies. But the Lycan King got, that thing is like monstrous, dude. Like nothing like Leon's ever seen before. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But physical threats are one thing. As we leave the castle, the science gets much darker, and we move from physical combat to psychological warfare. As Leon descends the elevator into House Beneviento, the rules of engagement disintegrate. His Silver Ghost and combat knife are stripped away, not by force, but by the specific environmental parameters of the location. The ghosts in this house aren't supernatural. They are the result of the mutamycete secreting a potent hallucinogenic pollen. From a scientific perspective, this pollen acts like a weaponized psychotropic, bypassing the blood-brain barrier to directly stimulate the amygdala, the brain's fear center.
And the hippocampus.
Saw his family because his fear was rooted in paternal loss. Leon's psychology is vastly different. He has undergone government conditioning to resist interrogation and psychological torture.
The hell is this? Mulan? Anybody remember that movie? I forgot that movie and it existed. Lincoln.
United, we stand.
However, his trauma is deep. He wouldn't see domestic horrors. He would likely hallucinate the failures of Raccoon City or the victims of the C virus. But here is the critical difference. Leon knows how to compartmentalize. While Ethan stumbled through the house in a state of panic, Leon would recognize the symptoms of chemical exposure. His objective would shift from escape to containment. Then comes the physical component of the nightmare, the baby monster. In the game, this chase is terrifying because Ethan moves slowly. His running speed is barely a jog, roughly 9 miles per hour. The creature moves slightly faster, creating a narrow margin for error. Leon, however, is an Olympic-level athlete in terms of functional fitness. In the tight corridors of the Beneviento basement, Leon's parkour abilities, vaulting over gurneys, sliding under debris, and executing sharp 90-degree turns without losing momentum, would trivialize the chase. The creature is large and clumsy. It relies on cornering its prey. Leon doesn't get cornered. He creates exit vectors. Exiting the house, we transition to the Moro Reservoir, where the environment itself becomes the enemy. The area is plagued by acid rain. Science check. For rain to burn skin instantly upon contact, the pH level would need to be close to 1.0, similar to battery acid. Ethan wears a civilian cotton jacket. Cotton offers zero chemical protection. The acid would soak through and cause third-degree chemical burns within minutes. Leon, conversely, wears standard-issue tactical gear. Modern tactical vests and combat fatigues are often treated with hydrophobic coatings and made of synthetic blends like Kevlar or Nomex, which are far more resistant to chemical corrosion than high-street fashion. While he still would take damage over time, his gear buys him significantly more exposure time than Ethan had. The battle against Moro, the giant fishman, presents the first true game over risk. Ethan survives this fight by tanking acid vomit and getting knocked off platforms, then pouring healing fluid on his wounds. Leon does not have that.
It's not healing fluid, okay? Herb. Leon low-key likes to hit the doink every now and then.
Luxury. Without regeneration, a direct hit from Moro's acid bile is fatal. It would melt through his armor and liquefy tissue. However, Leon has a massive advantage in weapon proficiency. He would have scavenged the GM79 grenade launcher by this point. He understands trajectory arcs. This section ends with a Tier A survival rating. Leon's tactical gear mitigates the environmental hazards, and his superior movement speed makes the giant fish fight manageable. But the risk is high. One slip on the wet slime, one miscalculated jump, or one splash of acid, and there's no coming back. He survives, but he is walking a razor's edge, and as he leaves the water, he faces a threat that bullets and running cannot solve: magnetism. Entering Heisenberg's factory, the genre shifts abruptly from gothic horror to industrial warfare.
This one's going to be tough.
And verticality create a claustrophobic kill box designed to corner intruders.
Heisenberg is not going down
here
easy.
Are the Zoldots, cyborg monstrosities with industrial drills for arms and heavy armor plating covering their vital organs. For Ethan Winters, these enemies were terrifying bullet sponges that required panicked mag dumps to put down. For Leon Kennedy, this is just another Tuesday at the office. We have to compare marksmanship styles. Ethan fires with a standard, often shaky, isosceles stance, flinching under recoil. Leon utilizes the center axis relock system, or CAR. This is a specialized close-quarters shooting stance that keeps the weapon tight to the chest, reducing leverage for recoil control and making weapon retention significantly easier in tight spaces. When Zoldot charges, Leon doesn't backpedal blindly into a wall. He pivots around the enemy's center of gravity. From a physics standpoint, this precision is non-negotiable. The Zoldot armor appears to be roughly 10 millimeters of mild steel or composite alloy. A standard 9mm round delivers about 500 joules of kinetic energy. Against angled steel, that energy deflects. It bounces off. You cannot brute force these enemies without wasting critical resources. You have to hit the exposed red reactors. The tensile strength of the armor is irrelevant if you put a bullet directly into the cooling vent. Leon's ability to laser targets, demonstrated by shooting small coins out of the air in Resident Evil 4, means he clears the factory with a fraction of the ammunition Ethan used. Then comes the Sturm, the creature with an aircraft propeller for a face.
Yeah, see, we didn't even get that in the John Wick one too. Like, damn, we didn't get a lot of them.
Terrifying to look at, this is a distinct tactical callback for Leon. He survived the Chainsaw Man in Spain. He knows the audio cues of a revving engine. He understands the Matador strategy. Wait for the charge, sidestep at the last second, and punish the recovery frames. The Sturm is essentially just Dr. Salvador with a higher RPM. However, the survival counter drops significantly when we reach the Heisenberg boss fight. The encounter is dictated entirely by magnetism. Heisenberg doesn't just throw metal, he manipulates the electromagnetic fields of the area. Leon is biological, so he isn't directly magnetic, but his gear is. His gun, his knife, his grenades. Everything that makes him lethal is ferrous metal. Heisenberg could theoretically rip Leon's weapons right out of his holster, leaving him defenseless. To survive, Leon has to pilot the makeshift polymer tank constructed from scrap. Here, we see a massive skill gap. Ethan drives like a civilian, clunky and slow. Leon is a vehicle specialist. In Resident Evil 6, he piloted helicopters, drove motorcycles through explosions, and managed complex machinery under fire. Leon would drive this tank with surgical aggression, utilizing the cannon to disrupt Heisenberg's magnetic field generation rather than just trading blows. But despite the skill advantage, we have to assign a Tier B survival rating.
B?
Why the drop? Collateral damage. The arena is filled with flying shrapnel. A sheet of corrugated iron flying at 80 miles per hour carries the kinetic energy of a mid-sized sedan. Leon cannot regenerate. If a piece of debris slices an artery, the fight's over.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete sight in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Where vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom. We'll see about that. All right, let me try to make up a...
The sheer chaos of the magnetic storm creates variables that tactical training cannot fully mitigate. He survives, but the margin for error is razor thin. So Leon escapes the factory, but he leaves his luck behind as he faces the final ascension. Finally, we reach the apex of the nightmare, Mother Miranda. This is where the math stops favoring the soldier and starts favoring the monster. Miranda moves with a velocity that borders on teleportation, faster than the human eye can track via saccadic masking. In the game, she shifts forms instantly. Scientifically, this requires a reaction time battle that is almost impossible to win. An average human reaction time is roughly 250 milliseconds. Leon S. Kennedy, operating at peak physiological conditioning, likely clocks in around 150 milliseconds, similar to an F1 driver or a fighter pilot. But against Miranda's supernatural velocity, even that might not be enough. Consider the durability problem. There is a canonical cutscene where Miranda rips Ethan's heart directly out of his chest. Ethan survives this trauma because he is a colony of mold mimicking a man. His consciousness doesn't reside in the organ. If Miranda gets within grappling range of Leon, there is no recovery. A destroyed heart is a destroyed pump. Systemic failure is instant. This means Leon must execute what speedrunners call a no-hit run. He lacks the plot armor of regeneration. Every mistake is terminal. So how does he win? The answer lies in superior firepower application and sensory overload. Leon wouldn't rely on the slow, panicked reload of a Magnum alone. He would likely utilize the Scavenge Stake or WCX assault rifle, but his tactical ace is the flash grenade. Miranda's shapeshifting abilities suggest a highly mutable biological structure that relies heavily on sensory feedback to target prey. A modern M84 stun grenade delivers millions of candela of light intensity and 170 decibels of sound. This would overload her optic nerves and stun her central nervous system far more effectively than it did against the Ganados. Leon exploits these windows not to trade damage, but to interrupt her attack cycles before they begin. However, the Mega Mycete's final form covers the arena in massive area of effect attacks, large, sweeping strikes that cover 80% of the ground. Leon can sprint, but he cannot phase through matter. If he gets clipped, the hydrostatic shock alone could rupture organs. Because of this zero margin for error scenario, we assign this final battle a Tier C survival rating. It's a passing grade, but only barely. The mortality risk is astronomical. Leon wins not through endurance, but through absolute flawless efficiency. He survives, but he is running on fumes.
So yes, somehow Leon gets away from Mother Miranda, which he needs to do John Wick versus Leon next. That'd be so fire. Bro survived Raccoon City, destroyed the cult of Los Illuminados. I'm sure this is just another Tuesday for Leon. Right, like the only thing is he doesn't really survive though. He doesn't really complete the mission. Like he has to beat Mother Miranda. Like he has to beat Miranda. Like nobody is beating Miranda. So in my opinion, he doesn't like he survived. Like if he was forced to have to try to take down Miranda, otherwise it's over, then he's not winning. But Leon Tier S Kennedy, When we gonna see Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine in some survival scenarios? Would love to see them, but I just know for sure people just wouldn't like care to even see all that. I would hope that people do, but yeah, like see, like nobody cares about them. Like it's sad though, but they're good characters too, you know? They're good characters. Could the village from Resident Evil 8 survive Leon S. Kennedy? Nah. He did it the right way. Could Leon S. Kennedy survive Resident Evil 8? Because the Lycan King, Heisenberg, and Miranda, those three titans, they're unbeatable for somebody like Leon. If Ethan Winters could survive RE8, Leon will absolutely smoke this game. The only reason why Ethan survives is because he's a mold. Because he can regenerate. It's the only reason why he survived. So, I mean, it would still just be really, really tough for Leon, in my opinion. Oh, can Leon Kennedy survive Arkham Asylum? That would be kind of cool. Lady Dimitrescu wants Leon to have the strongest bloodline. Could Leon survive Resident Evil 8? Apparently he can, which I'm still a little bit iffy about, but I guess so. I mean, Nerd Science knows. He knows, I guess.